Welcome back, social media marketing students. Today's video is going to be not a little bit. It's going to be very different than anything that we've ever done. I'm not really going to be teaching you a specific digital marketing skill. Rather, I get a lot of questions all the time about how do I start my own digital marketing business? How do I get into it? Because it seems like everybody and their mother has decided to open up a digital marketing agency. It's now like the buzzword of this decade. And you see YouTube ads all the time with these gurus who say that you can drop out of college and make thousands of dollars a month and it's super easy and it's no problem, you can do it. And there's some truth to that. I love this business model. It's one of the easiest to start up, requiring very little cost. It's one of the few industries and businesses where being young gives you an advantage. And I definitely think there's something to it, and I fully believe that people should give this a shot if they're interested in marketing. But I really wanted to break down a lot of the, mystique behind starting your own agency and just kind of explain what I did. And this will be a brief introductory video about it. I might go and do a separate video that's more specific in terms of like social media marketing, for example, and pricing and just more specific details behind how I did it or how I think it can be done. But anyway, let's get into it. So first thing is I've compiled a list of things that you don't need to start a marketing agency. You don't need a loan. You don't need business loans. Okay, I know that some of you out there, you want to be cool and you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to feel legit, but you do not need to go take a loan from a bank to feel legit, okay? You don't even have clients yet. You have no income revenue stream. You have nothing. There's no reason to get into debt. You shouldn't get into debt, period, in this whole business model, but especially not at the beginning. The second thing you don't need is a bunch of marketing experience. You really don't. Most people that started their agencies started off with little to no experience. This business hasn't existed long enough for there to be significant barriers to entry. There will be. In 20 years, 30 years, mark my words. You're going to probably need to, this gets into my next point, you're probably going to need a degree and certifications and all this stuff. But now, you don't. You just need, I'll get into what you need in the next slide. Again, you don't need a degree. This hasn't existed long enough for it to matter. There are degrees out there. At BYU, you can get a degree in social media marketing, you can get a degree in digital marketing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't necessarily need one to start your own agency. It's not required. Because by the time you get your degree, there's 4 years of industry that has changed, and so you have to learn. Again, nothing wrong with it, but it's just not required. You definitely don't need employees. For gosh sakes, you don't have a single client. Why would you need to go looking for people to hire? You don't. You do not need people. There's you, and that's all you need for now. You don't need a formal LLC or a company set up with the government at first. The way I did it was I got a few paying clients. I made a little over $1,400, went to the bank, opened up a business bank account, sent a few $100 to the government to get my company set up, and there I was. Bam. Okay? The next point, you don't need a bank account at first. Just keep it in cash, envelope, personal checking account. That's it. Start out as a freelancer. Start out as a freelance guy or girl. That's it. You don't need business cards, t-shirts, or other forms of swag. You can if you want. I did get business cards when I started. I barely used them. Okay, people put my number on their phone and that was it. But you can. If it makes you feel good about yourself and you want to spend $30 on some business cards, you definitely can. There's nothing wrong with that. Please don't spend $200 on t-shirts or, on pencils or pens or stationery. You just don't need it. You definitely do not need a physical office space. It's called your apartment, your dorm room, your basement, your parents' basement, wherever you want. You do not need to rent a building. Again, you don't have... One of the beauties of this business is that you can do it from anywhere. I can service clients all over the world. I've serviced clients when I've been to Europe. I service my clients still. It's easy. You do not need an office. Here's what you do need. You need to be able to sell and embrace the rejection that comes along with selling. I could make an entire video, in fact there's entire degrees, we offer them at school, about selling. I'm not going to get into that, but you need to be able to, at least on a basic level, sell. You don't need to be some crazy closer, but you have to at least be able to present the benefits of what you're offering and convince another human being to pay you to do it. And then you also really need to be able to not just accept, but embrace and welcome the rejection, because there is a lot of it. And you need to just prepare and accept that fact, because this is like any business. And every single business you start, you will get rejected. Just embrace it. You need to be willing to work smart and hard, not just hard. Anybody can work hard, okay? If you spend 8 hours a day researching social media marketing in your basement, and you do that for 4 years, and you don't make a single penny, you worked really, really hard, but you didn't make anything because you didn't work smart. You need to work smart. Identify tasks and activities that generate the most return for you and focus on them. Whether that's calling people, servicing existing clients, trying to upsell existing clients, focus on what works and stick to it. You are going to need a computer with internet access, although I would wager that most of you have that because you're watching this video right now. So I at least hope that you have that. And if not, then you got to get creative. Deliver pizzas for a few weeks, buy a cheap computer, get some internet access. You will need time. Not a crazy amount of it, but you will need some time. You have to have a willingness to learn. If you don't want to learn, you're not going to be able to do anything. Because as of right now, based on your watching this video, you don't really know all too much about social media marketing, starting your agency. You might. I took this class, B351, the one you're in, and I already had my own agency going. So who knows? You might have already done this. But you still always have to be willing to learn because this business is so new and it's going to change so quickly and rapidly that if you're not willing to learn, you're going to get left behind. The next point ties into the first point. You have to have a good mental attitude. You just have to be positive all the time. And not just positive. You need to look at yourself in a different light. Okay? I know that most of you, you don't really, I don't know, maybe you do know what you want to do with your lives. Maybe you have this clear vision, maybe you don't. I would assume most of you really don't know what you want to do. In business, you have to act like you know what you're doing, and you have this clear vision that nobody else does. You have to see yourself and take yourself in a serious light that you probably never have before, because then other people are going to take that too. You need to carry yourself with a different attitude. That ties into the next point, professionalism. You got to be professional. Granted, this is a young business. People expect you to be young and, outlandish and different and a little weird and millennial, but there's a line. You need to be professional in dealing with, because your clients are business owners. And the last but not least, if you want to be privileged, if you want to, have a little bit of advantage, a few $100 if you want to start. You could buy some software, some scheduling software, and use that as a way to sell clients. Say, I have this cool software. You can pay $100 a month for it, like I do. Or you can, design a website with a premium template, or you could just pay to start your LLC early. But a few $100 if you want to be privileged. I started maybe with $30, and I didn't even set that aside for the business. It just happened. So, now I'm going to get into the steps. Again, these are very general, broad steps, okay? First things first is choose your trade. I say this because this video is about digital marketing agencies, not just social media. So you may be watching this video, maybe you're not interested in social media marketing, you're just taking it to fulfill a marketing degree requirement. I don't know what your purpose for being in the class is. I don't know what your favorite thing about digital marketing is. But agencies can be built around website development, search engine marketing, SEO, video marketing, social media, Google AdWords, pay-per-click. You need to pick the one you want. Identify the one that you want, or you can try and do all of them. Although if you want my advice, I would pick one and stick to it because it gives you a niche and an edge to get clients. The way I did it is I started out and I just did social media marketing because it's all I knew how to do, and it's all that I had the time to watch videos and learn how to do it. I didn't want to learn anything else. I just did social media marketing. Now the benefit to that is that you're specialized in your niche, and you can go to a business owner and say, look, I don't mess with all the other stuff. I just do this, and I'm good at this. And they'll kind of respect that. The downside is, while at the same time they're going to respect you, they're also going to be like, I only want one person to do anything involving digital for me. And so it limits you in a way. So what I did was I just started out in social, and then eventually I made friends they had their own other marketing businesses, and they did the other stuff, and we worked together. So I was able to say that I did everything, even though we worked together on stuff with my other partners, if that makes sense. But first things first, pick your trade or trades. Then learn it. Learn your trade. I have included this graphic here because you all know where to go to learn things in 2019. You go to YouTube, type in how to run Facebook ads, or you can watch my videos that I've made. They're pretty good. I think they're all right, pretty good videos. But let's say you want to do web design, and I haven't made web design videos. It's not my thing. Go to YouTube, type in how to design websites using WordPress. There's probably a guy out there with a few 100,000 subscribers that's made a series of videos on how to make WordPress sites. Go learn from him. How to do SEO. Guarantee you, you can pay for classes online if you want. If you want to buy those courses, I wouldn't. I didn't. Go to YouTube. Spend hours watching YouTube. Learn things. Learn your trade. And you don't have to be perfect at it. When I started, I had no idea what I was doing, and I had watched hours of content. I still had no idea. You're only going to learn by doing it, and you're going to make a ton of mistakes that are inevitable. The best thing to do is just to learn as much as you can, and then try, and as you go, you'll pick and choose what you're actually going to apply in real life. Learn your trade, step 2. Step 3 is define your business model. I might make it that. My intentions in making another video are going to focus on this, because there's things about pricing and, how do I charge, and, what's my model, my flat fee, am I monthly, this part is about choosing how you want to run your business. Do you want to service expensive clients? Do you want to service, small businesses? Do you want to operate on a monthly pay basis, which is the best way? Everyone wants to make monthly income, right? How do you charge? What do you charge for? What are the services you offer? All this stuff is your business model. It's how you're going to execute the model and make money, right? It's how you take the skills, take the know-how, take your desire, and put it all into a system that works. Figure it out. I've included this business model canvas example. There's a ton of them out there. There's just template samples of business models that you can fill in and just identify. Are you going to be alone? Are you going to have a partner or 2 or 3? Where are you going to get clients from? It's all the business model. So identify that, define it, and it's going to change as you evolve. My business model has changed tons of times. It's going to change because when you get out in the real world, your plan's always going to change based on how it actually is versus what you think it is before you do it. Next is find clients. It really breaks down into one of 2 ways. You find clients one of 2 ways, okay? One of 3 ways, but the third way isn't available to you because I'd imagine you're all pretty broke. You can pay for a service to generate leads, which I wouldn't recommend because they don't work very well anyway. But it's called picking up the phone and calling people that you've never called in your entire life. Literally, go to Google, type in businesses around me or businesses in the niche that I want to operate in. If you want to start a marketing agency that specifically deals with women's clothing, and that's all you want to do, Google women's clothing stores near me and call them and say, hey, who handles your marketing? Again, I might get into a separate video about cold calling, but that really isn't the focus of the course, but I might just do it if I have enough time. The other way is the best way. It's a referral business. Your friends, family, their friends, your parents' bosses, their coworkers. If your parents are a boss, they own a company, welcome, free client right there. Find clients, reach out, open your eyes, open your ears, and open your mouth. Look around, find them, they're there. And big piece of advice, I'll hit this harder in a second video. Always offer your first client for free. Do it for free. You need a client. You need experience. You need a client. Before somebody's going to pay you money, they're probably going to ask you, have you done it for someone else? I was lucky enough to where that didn't happen because it was a friend of mine. But most people, if you don't know the person you're trying to sell, they're going to ask you for former clients. You have to at least have somebody. And the good news is you can mess up with this client because they're not paying you. And so they're not expecting a ton. So find clients. Next is close deals and gain new clients. There is a big gap between finding clients and closing clients. Huge gap. Okay? It's a big deal. This is why I've included it in a separate slide. Okay? You need to close clients. Learning how to close, another sales skill. Take a professional sales class if you want. Again, watch some more YouTube videos on how to close. There's guys that literally record their sales meetings with potential clients. I don't know how they get away with that, but they do. Watch it, learn something. Next is wash, rinse, repeat. It's not that hard. This is the business. Step 1, learn a digital marketing skill. Step 2, identify how you're going to turn that skill into money. How you're going to charge, what you're going to do, your model. Step 3, find clients. Step 4, close them. Step 5, service them and do the whole thing again. It's not that hard. Let me break it down for you practically, right? Let's say that you learn social media marketing, right? And I'll get into this in another video. And you learn about it, right? All you need to do, and let's assume you're going to charge, $300 a month. For $300 a month, you're going to manage a business's Facebook and Instagram, and you're going to post every single day. Let's assume you do that, right? And you're halfway good at it. If you get 10 clients doing that, you're making $3,000 a month. And that's actually really cheap. Like that's super cheap. I would charge $6,000 or even close to $1,000 for that, honestly. Now, you know what? Let's assume that you charge $600 a month to do Facebook and Instagram for a business, maybe Twitter too, why not? You get 4 clients, you're making $2,400 a month in a business in which the costs are minimal. My cost is maybe $100, maybe $150 a month. That's my cost on my business. That's why I love this model. It's not that complicated. Just break it down into steps, execute them. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed this first video. I'll hopefully get into another one soon, getting more specifically in depth, but hope you learned something, and we'll catch you in the next one.